The prologue of the Sunbringer is called Humanity Has Dawned, and it starts at the very beginning, like the very beginning, creation myth style. At the start of time immemorial, there existed a single entity in an expanse of meaningless void. It could think, though not well, and only realized it itself existed after several millennia. After a while, it could understand that it lived in a space where things could possibly happen. It knew nothing but itself, so when it decided to do something, the only thing it could comprehend possibly doing was creating a duplicate of itself. And so it did. This creation was the sun, who then tried creating something themselves, crafting the moon. However, the sun liked hanging out with their parent more than their child, so the moon got jealous, created 3 lesser beings, and killed the original. Eventually, the sun and moon created endless lesser beings. The sun tried to kill the moon for their sin, and the moon prolonged its existence. Eventually, the first cell is created, life begins to evolve, and humanity comes into existence. The first chapter of the Sunbringer essentially starts humanity out. We're in the Stone Age, but some learn magic. Especially prevalent is mastery over fire. The first humans to learn to wield magic are able to slaughter and control the rest, establishing a strict hierarchy. Even after the commoners learn to use magic, they still assume the nobles are more powerful, which isn't necessarily true. After at least 3 generations have passed away, agriculture is invented, common folk innovate golems, which can automate work using magic as an energy source, and there's a mythos about the nobles' ability to control fire, where in their infinite generosity, they've allowed commoners to use fire, which of course isn't true. We can even use fire in real life, so it's definitely just a lie. A vague myth from long ago also surfaces, that humanity long ago was burnt to ash for being slothful. This is a hint at the mountain being a volcano, but not explicitly. Lastly, this chapter should establish the population as booming but suffering, with the lowest class being replaced by golems, and the few still employed simply acting as magic batteries for the golems. The second chapter of the Sunbringer leads with the mages and seers forewarning about how overuse of magic will cause an apocalypse to reign over the land. They don't know exactly what causes it, just that magic starts it. We, as the observer, know it to be the volcano that's right nearby. The elders start being wary, ridiculing the mages for trying to take magic away from the common people as soon as they manage to get their hands on it. The nobility then run with this message, starting up propaganda against the mages for trying to take away the golems and reverting to primitive times. The volcano starts rumbling more and more, so the nobility starts sacrificing what they call the leeches of society, those who don't work. The lowest third of society. The next lowest half of society actually support this, sometimes taking matters into their own hands, because they can't stand the thought that these folks are living off of the scraps of their own hard work, when in reality, they are just starving like the rest. So, when the nobility starts cracking down and taking food from the poorest, initially the second lowest are supportive, since they assumed more food would go to them. Instead, they lost more food as well. Eventually, the nobility advocates for less food in a religious sense, causing fervor among the commons, making them even more willing to sacrifice the little food they have, eating once every 3 days, or once a day for kids. After a while, the nobility claim the mages are wasting resources, so the mages who used to make up 19% of the population are massacred, with half being killed by the lower classes. The third chapter of the Sunbringer starts with a cunning mage planning their revenge as the sun gets blotted by choking ash and smog from the volcano. The cunning mage has a revelation. They spread a rumor of a golden person who will save us all from misery and bring the sun back into view after 100 days of their arrival. The mage then starts attempting to brew a potion that may, if not permanently, temporarily turn skin to gold. Other mages, of course, disagree since they haven't foreseen such a thing, but no one trusts the other mages, and the nobilities advocate for this story, claiming the populace needs to be more loyal to them and their gods if the Golden One is to arrive. Many starve when the sun is blotted. The previously year-long harvests have dried since the crop still required sun, which is now perpetually covered. Of course, the mages had anticipated this, so they've been working on creating a sunless crop. The nobility blame the mages for turning the sun black, and anger the gods by holding such information back. The mages fault such logic. Why would they create a solution to what would otherwise be a non-existent problem? Regardless, all the mages are massacred, save for one, Before being discovered in hiding, they drink a golden potion, and right before they are slain by a stone blade to their throat, the entirety of their skin temporarily turns gold, deflecting the blade. The fourth chapter of the Sunbringer is called the Sunbringer. The nobility deliberate. They realize they cannot claim the Golden One as outright false, as this would only make people believe God has abandoned them, ensuing chaos. The nobility force the previously golden-skinned person out into the city center. The crowd is in awe at them. The nobility give them 100 days as foretold to fix the sun, else they'll be deemed a liar and a heretic. The previously Golden One agrees and proposes they halt the use of magic to ease the volcano's anger. The nobility states this as heretical. Disbelief and anger among the crowd grows as they question if they were ever truly golden, especially since they used to be a part of those heretical mages. The nobility grants them the 100 days regardless, but disallows abstinence from magic. Locked in their home, the previously Golden One tries to think of ways to stop magic usage, but without more credibility, they can't. So they decide to solve this problem via magic, then use their authority as the Golden One to cease magic forever. They work day and night, testing magics and technology, managing purifiers that slightly cleanse the smog. Some praise them, others belittle them, and as time passes, the technology and magic becomes better, and the smog is no longer becoming thicker around their home, but rather is instead a constant thickness. Time passes and the technology grows better and better and better. A highly devoted 3 persons start a zealous cult to revere the Golden One directly and refuse to use magic. The nobility worked them into the broader religion. 99 days had passed. People buzz excitedly at the progress. People wait outside for the final day where the sun would shine again. The nobility arrived, but left the house alone to watch from a distance. They too were excited by the prospect of light once again, and did not want to interfere. After the 100th day fully passed, one of the nobility walks up to the door and opens it to check on the progress, and to inform them that they may continue their work even though 100 days have passed. In the center is the Golden One, hanging with a rope. A note states that the sun is too far away to be brought back home. I have failed to meet my own deadline. I overestimated myself, and for that, I am sorry. The 5th chapter of the Sunbringer is called The Last Remnants. The 3 cult leaders see the lifeless Golden One and state that all must follow in their footsteps. They believe that the cult should be the golden dagger that kills everyone else, then themselves. 2 leaders plan the scheme as the 3rd cares for the Golden One's body. The nobility claim the Golden One is false, but as they do so, a few cult members from the crowd kill a large portion of the nobility for such heresy, but are easily fought back since the cult abstains from magic. 2 sides form, the Loyalists and the cult. The Loyalists use magic to kill, while the cult uses numbers and stealth. The 3rd leader finds the potion recipe of golden skin, and realizes that there was never a chosen one, but their faith remains unshaken. They study ways to capture the soul. With so many dead, they are able to conduct several experiments. Their sleepless endeavors are noticed by other leaders. One supports their endeavor, while the other berates them for using magic. The supporting leader kills the other, and this death made the researcher find a discovery, that the loss of life allowed him to revive the Golden One for a brief moment. Both stand in shock. The researcher makes a horrific proposition. Use magic on an ungodly scale. Eradicate humanity by angering the volcano, and through this mass sacrifice, the Golden One would stand again. The supporter was in shock, but understood and started immediately. The cult starts using magic for mutual destruction. The remaining nobility realize this and start banning magic. The researcher completed the start of their final ritual, and programmed the golem to continue their work even in their death. They whisper to the corpse, I believe in you. Even if you aren't our destined savior, I know you can save us. Please save us. The volcano erupts. All is consumed in a horrific inferno. The epilogue of the Sunbringer, and it shall never dusk. This short passage is the entire epilogue, so here you go. From the remnants of the now long-dead flames and solidified magma, in the center of choking clouds of pitch-black soot, arose a single figure, a single being in an unfathomably vast and eternal nothingness. And thus none remained in existence but one surrounded by devastation and dread, one abandoned and lost, with nothing to grip to, one without memories, nor ability to find direction. One by their lonesome in an empty abyss. One who had yet to understand that they themselves in fact existed. One who in this expanse of meaningless void would be destined to start it all again.